story began in a coffee shop in the heart of a big noisy mall in one of the central cities in Israel. It was an autumn evening in 2012. We were a small group of Haredi, ultra-Orthodox women. After good shopping, undecided between salad or multi-calorie pasta, and complaining as usual. One of my friends shared with us her frustrating experiences in the Mehadrin bus. If you don't know, the Mehadrin bus is a new modesty solution that requires women to sit in the back of the bus. It's actually just a part of a wide aim to silence our voice, to vanish us from all decision-making junction, and the trend to erase us from literature, from newspapers, and even from kids' books. My friend belonged to one of the most closed communities in the ultra-Orthodox Haredi society, and she told us about one of the last visits at her sick father in hospital. She came with a bus and sat in the back like all the women. She was in a hurry, so she wanted to ask the driver something to stop the bus in a specific place. And you know, it's not appropriate to shout to him from the back, so she tried to get closer to the front to talk to him. You know, it's always a weird situation. Because all the men's eyes look at you in anger. How does you dare to invade to this pure man's territory? And one of them whisper, "Hey, woman, it's not your place, go back." So what do you think? She returned back and got down in a far station with tears to meet her father on his deathbed. To be honest, it's not my first time I heard stories like that. So I got back to nibbling my salad, but suddenly, I don't know why, I felt that I hate this helplessness, that I can't continue my grumpy routine. And I said impulsively, we have to place women in our parties to stop the madness. It might sound strange to you, but in the democratic state of Israel, the Haredi parties don't allow women among them. Don't worry, they still allow us to vote. They need our voices, thanks God. Anyway, my friends thought I'm kidding. What? Politic? Are you crazy? It's just for men. Can you imagine a woman like us standing in the parliament, make great speeches, and fight for our people? So we lose our right to complain, I answered. As long as we stay out from the politics, from the decision-making junction, they will continue to silence us, to drop us to the back of whatever, to erase us from everywhere they can. I think we should design some veils. We are definitely on the way there. I went home that night full of thoughts. I didn't know yet what I should do, but I knew that I have to do something. And also I knew that it's going to be only my job. My friends would be happy to support me, but just behind the scenes, it would be difficult to find women that would be willing to pay the price for this fight. And if you are alone and you have no money to make a campaign and you have something very important to say to the world, the only thing you can do is to open a Facebook page. And that's exactly what I did. I called it לא נבחרות, לא בוחרות. It's a protest slogan. In English, it's no voice, no vote. And then I got used to my new status as the crazy woman in my sector. People shake their heads compassionately, and others wrote brutal talkbacks like, oh, poor husband, poor kids, how can they live with her? But I was invited to TV shows, to interviews, radio station, newspapers, and this silenced voice has begun to heard in the first time. Thank you. The Haredi printed media thought that ignoring us is the best way to kill us softly. But in the modern media, in the digital media, began a new, fresh discussion with the big question, why not? After all, the Haredi women in the last years got out from the kitchen. They are working in a wide variety of professions. They are lawyers, journalists, CEOs, CPAs, and more. It's ridiculous to prevent us just from politics. Two years had passed with the first attempt of Haredi women to run in the municipal election. We made groups of Haredi activists, and we cooperated to find a way to change. And then, in last year, in 2015, in the election, the buzz grew up. We made crazy things. We entered to the most closed neighborhoods and posted on the walls this misleading Pashkevil poster. We made it look it's against us. So people read all of our subversive messages instead of ripping them automatically. This flyer, we handed women in the streets, we handed people, women, men, prove that the Haredi politicians have no modesty problem to work with women, with secular women. They just want to keep us, their mothers, their wives, their daughters, their sisters, far away from leadership. And suddenly, we realized that we succeed to scare the establishment. We started to get threats and insults. One of the well-known rabbis said that we are schizophrenics, that we need psychiatric help. It was offensive, but when I think about that, I really appreciate his free diagnosis. Another rabbi said that we lose our rights in the Ketubah. In Judaism, it means that we are a rebel woman and we lose our social status or something like that. The big resistance was from Haredi women. Yes, from women. But we can't blame them. All of us were in the same place. All of us were educated to think that women can't make decisions, and if we want to be good mothers, good wives, we mustn't be in the public eye. But near those bad comments between the evil talkbacks and those rabbis, we got a lot of responses and messages from Haredi women and men, from Israel and the world, people that find the justice in our demand, that understand the insight in our campaign to stop extremism, to avoid the aim of silence women, to give us a voice. I can't inform you that we achieved the goal. There is no Haredi woman in the parliament for now. But in the last elections, although they are in the government now, those parties with no women lose more than 30% of their seats. And I'm sure that in the near years, in the nearby future, it will be an old history. And women like us will get the right to represent, like we have the right to vote. Today, we are a registered nonprofit organization with the sole purpose of integrating women in the Haredi political parties. We are not women's party. We want to integrate women in the Haredi political parties, in the local and national levels. And it's not a simple mission to raise awareness among Haredi women about their rights, about their power as an enlightened electoral bloc. We do this by conferences, by materials that we distribute. And we aim to convince the legislators and the decision makers that we have a big damage, big problem in our democracy that allows and funds this situation. This is not a story, it's a fight that's happening right now in a Western democratic country. It's a fight of women that promise to their daughters, granddaughters, and to themselves a better, sane future. Thank you very much.